Hi, I'm Rhoda Kerr, the Austin Fire Chief, and we're pleased to present our forecast for fiscal year 14. There's lots of exciting things happen at the Austin Fire Department where our mission goes beyond our name. Our forecast is provided on maintaining our services, and we currently provide and improving those services that we do provide. So we're going to start with our organizational overview. And as you can see on this slide, the largest portion of our budget and our FTEs were consumed by our fire and emergency response and our wildfire mitigation division. A little over $120 million and 1,061 FTEs. The next is our key performance indicators. And as you can see, there are two that we have here. One is the percentage of emergency incidents that we respond to in 8 minutes or less, 86% of the time. And so what I do want to explain is that response time is calculated on the dispatch of the call till the time that the firefighters arrive on scene. And then the second indicator is the percentage of structure fires that are confined to the room of origin. And this occurs at 86% of the time. So one of the things that I do want to stress here is that what makes a difference and what allows us to confine our structure fires to the room of origin is the fact that we have 4-person staffing. On arrival at an emergency incident, it's very complex and there are many incidents that have to take precedent. And so when you have enough people to do them and you can do them quickly enough, then we can confine that room to the fire of origin. Next on our key performance indicators is one of those was the number of fire deaths. And when I first got here, we had it at 6, and I said, no, that's way too many. It has to be at 0. So for the last few years, we've had 0 fire death as a performance indicator. And what this means is that we all have to be part of this. And we have a saying in the Austin Fire Department, do your part, 0 fire deaths. And my vision and my goal is to get a working smoke alarm in every single residence in the city of Austin. And in fiscal year 14, our goal will be to install 3 smoke alarms per day, which will equate to 1,095 over the year. And I'm happy to report to you that even though this was not one of our goals for fiscal year 13, in year-to-date fiscal year 13, we have installed over 700 smoke alarms already. Citizen survey results, customer satisfaction, and timeliness of response. On both of these, we are just below the national average. We'd like to make some improvements on these, and some of the ways that we plan to do that is continue working on some of our community outreach efforts, such as the smoke alarm program that I talked about earlier. And then on our timeless issue, on our timeliness issue, we are going to do some things that are not going to jeopardize safety, but places that we can cut down our response times. And those are things like automated dispatch. Those are things on shutting down the time it takes firefighters to turn out. And that's the time that they get the alarm to the time that they get dressed and are in the vehicle responding. Next on our budget forecast are cost drivers at $5.8 million. Like many other departments, they're the health insurance, they're the fuel and fleet maintenance, they're things like a 1% additional to the sworn pension plan. Other things are maintenance for our air packs that's due to expired warranties. That's about a $90,000 expense. And those air packs are those things that we wear on our backs when we go into hazardous environments. Also in this budget forecast is scheduled replacement of those air cylinders. The Austin Fire Department has 1,700 air cylinders in our inventory. And of those, we're going to replace 230 of those this year, and that's a cost of about $230,000. So you can tell that they are expensive. They're very important to what we do, and they do have to be replaced. And so we want to make sure that we thank budget for allowing us to do a replacement plan rather than trying to do these large one-time capital expenses. And then our terminal payout has increased. Our retirements have increased from about 32 per year to about 42 per year. So we've asked that our terminal payouts increase by $234,000. And then promotional exams, they occur every other year, so we're asking for another $100,000 just to run those promotional exams. And then on our budget forecast, our new investments, about $4.4 million. One of those is an administrative full-time equivalent to process applications for our new fire protection systems permit cost. And this will actually end up being cost neutral. The position is expected to cost about $64,000, and we're projecting about $200,000 in permit fees and in revenues. And then our wildfire division as well will be annualized costs for that wildfire mitigation division, 3 civilians and 2 sworn captains. And then some of our accomplishments on that wildfire division, and we do want to make note, we want to thank council and the city manager's office for helping us and being committed to the wildfire division. We are currently in the process of developing that community wildfire protection plan, which is sort of the basis and the key to everything that we do going forward. We've been partnering with Austin Energy and Austin Water Utility on fuel mitigation. And all of our positions that we have promised we would fill will be filled by the end of May. And finally, there's also some costs in there that will also help us with the fuel mitigation, about $800,000 a year. Our revenue forecast, the department revenue changes, we're anticipating additional $0.1 million, and that's based mainly on fees from fire inspections, plan review, special events. And most of this 5.6 revenue increase that you see on the slide is a result of the 3 engineers that were added in last fiscal year. They've been able to do more plan reviews and consequently increase the revenue. And then finally, we will be proposing some new permits and fees that are not reflected above, and some things like a fire protection system permits, carnival, fair, festival, operational permits, tents, exhibits, temporary helistop permits. All of these things have to be inspected and have to be permitted. So we're going to propose some increased fees on that. And then fiscal year 14, our capital highlights. Thanks to the bond project, we're able to move forward with a new fire station, and that's in Southeast Austin down in Onion Creek, and we are currently in exploration for the land there. Phase 5 of 6 phases of the locker room project. And I do want to make a comment, first of all, that I know this has been a project long in the making, and these last 2 phases are our most difficult because they are in our fire stations that are our oldest, and there's very little footprint for expansion or to find room to make gender neutral locations for fire stations, for our locker rooms and our bathrooms. And then next, our priorities that are set for our unmet service demands, an increased prevention capacity and special events, additional lieutenants to inspect new and existing properties, and support staff for engineering to expedite plans review. And what that will be is one person that will actually be an engineer that will do consultation and education for our contractors to help expedite the process, as well as an administrative support that will do all the filing of all the plans and the permits, so that our engineers aren't spending their time doing filing when they could be spending it doing the engineer plan review. And this is a total of 9 new positions that we're asking for in fire prevention at a cost of $1.1 million. And then next is some additional staff positions. This is a request for a total of 15 positions at a cost of $1.2 million. And we're asking for a conversion of 10 temporary support services personnel. We're asking that we convert those to full-time equivalencies. A lieutenant position for phase 2 of the wildfire mitigation. Those 2 lieutenants positions would complete the phase 2 wildfire mitigation division. support personnel that are needed to meet our workload demands with our increasing staff and our increasing population. We need 2 additional personnel, one in information technology and one in payroll. And then finally, research and planning position that would analyze injury data and facilitate policy development. And this was one of those areas that was identified in a recent safety audit. And that concludes our budget projections and our presentation. And for more information, I think you can see the slide in front of you. And I thank you for your time and for listening.